Sunday, the 26th of February 2017, and welcome to Sydney Harbour for the second race of the JJ Giltinan 18-footer skiff championships. And it's a fine day. There's a nice breeze on the harbour after the conditions of yesterday, which were very wet and wild. It rained the whole day. But we did see a terrific race that was won by the New Zealand skiff Yamaha from Cooper's Rag and Famish from Australia was second, and Thurlow Fisher Australia was third. But before we go on today, I was very remiss yesterday, boys, of not thanking our technical guys and camera guys that worked overtime in the atrocious conditions. And water and electrical gear don't go well together, but they did a marvellous job to keep us rolling for the entire day. So I would like to thank Chits, Blake, John and Christoph for their efforts yesterday. They toiled away magnificently, and we got these pictures out to you. So well done, boys, and I'm sure we're going to have a good week and a lot better day today. The sun's out, the breeze is in, and welcome to Andrew Buckland and Warwick Rookland. And first, Andrew, a overview of the weather and how you see the day panning out.
Well, for the viewers, I mean, this is sort of just a subdued version of yesterday minus the rain plus the sunshine. So we're essentially operating under the same gradient weather system as yesterday. You know, we're in a little high pressure ridge, a little trough each side, one inland and one out in the Tasman Sea. The model's in a bit of disagreement about today, but what we think is that we will see mostly 8 to 14. Now the fleet's gotten very conservative today after some alarming incidents yesterday, which for those of you who watched the footage provided some excitement. So only one boat with big rig, and that is AOL, and it looks very much like a big rig day down here at the start line. Little spikes of wind, and we're in one right now, and we see on the video one of our starters using the riding lever. That would be the Smeg. But big pauses, so the wind, if the maximum's 14, the minimum is down around 6, 7 on the back side of the puffs. The breeze is a little to the right at the moment of the long run anticipation, and so I just measured it. It's just actually slightly to the right of south at the moment, around 185, but we might see hard left at 140 at various times. How's that, Pete?
Well, I think Warwick and I would just put our head out the window and say we don't need an umbrella and get on with it, wouldn't we, Warwick?
Yeah, well, you lost me at the first weather model. I don't know, mate. I just go to Seabreeze in the morning, and for me, I just said to the young boys, probably going to be second.
There you go.
That's as complicated as I get.
Yeah, okay.
No, I've got to say, there was a bit of indecision in the park by a lot of competitors. The models that I looked at on Predict Wind had it, up to sort of building up to 19 later in the day. Seabreeze sort of 16. But for me, Predict Wind had it pretty right with a 170 true, even though, like I say, a little bit right now. But the bottom line is big holes. That's what it's going to be. And if you're looking for your championship, and most of the fleet are going second, and you want to play the fleet, well, that's what you do. That sort of simplifies it. Obviously, Whitty feels that he doesn't want to do that, and so that will be interesting. The course that we're doing today, for the viewers that watched yesterday, it is the same. It is a southerly course. So we're down here near Taronga Park Zoo for our start, minus the Queen Elizabeth, the 15-storey apartment building. And then they'll be heading up Short Beat up to Double Bay, and then they'll head north up the harbour towards the heads to a little buoy at Obelisk Bay, which is just before Middlehead, then a long beat all the way back up to Shark Island, and then back down to here, and then repeat that one more time, and then a short beat to the finish. And there's a good little feature in the website, if you're on the 18-foot TV website before you go to YouTube, which actually has the courses on it, and it has a good explanation of how the courses work. So have a look at that little feature, and hope you enjoy the program.
Yeah, well, we're only a couple of minutes away from signals, I would think. We're right here looking at great shots from our overhead drone, and you're looking at the fleet, and that's Bradley's Head in the background, and little puffs coming through, but at the moment we've been out here about half an hour, I guess, and I'd say it's more big sail than little sail, Andrew, wouldn't you, at this stage?
No, definitely at this end of the track. Now, it'll be a little fresher down the bottom at Obelisk, and so you have to think about that. You know, the wind reading that you get from Fort Denison is usually about 4 knots less than from the wind speed taken off the Western Channel pole light.
In this direction.
In this direction, so be more wind down the bottom, but equally we would expect to see them come up the eastern shore pretty much today. So harder with little rig. You know, you get more tactical options with the big rig than with the little rig.
I don't know. I'm not reading it exactly the same as you guys are on that. I think that these second rigs are so efficient that at 14, that they're sort of upwind probably a bit quicker than the big rig. Just less aero drag and all that, and maybe, as we've already discussed, the holes are going to be the thing. How many holes are we going to get in this breeze, and what's the breeze going to be like down the north end of the harbour?
I mean, we just went through a little, 30, 40 seconds where we are on the camera boat, where the wind was below 8 knots, I would estimate, here, right where we are. But, I mean, that's an accurate rendition that you've made. The crossover is pretty much 14 knots, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, depending a bit on the water state and the wind roughness. But
we've got water state for sure.
Got a situation here where, there's 14 knots in the puffs, and that's all well and good, but there's only 6 to 8 in the lulls.
Yeah.
And I guess crew weight comes into play a little.
Well, that's true, Pete. And one thing with AOL, we know that they, I believe that they're the heaviest team out here. And what do you want?
Just go forward, mate.
What's wrong?
Just getting in the way of the guys trying to sight up the line.
Right. Just trying to.
So just while we're waiting for starting signals, just give us a bit of a summary on yesterday. What did you see? What did you think? And I mean, it was a pretty fair test, I guess, all round, wasn't it, yesterday?
A tough test, Pete, I thought. Look, the takeaways from yesterday really, and a bit of information gathering subsequently also, but obviously Yamaha very fast in a straight line. They handled the corners pretty well yesterday, hung in there. The Thurlow boys probably have got enough speed to match them, I think. I don't think there's a great deal of difference. Everybody else committed a few sins of various kinds. And the Smeg fought their way through up to 4th from a long way back. So out of yesterday, you'd have to put now Yamaha, I think, and Thurlow as the favourites to be on the top of the podium.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a big call, son, after one race.
I know.
Just to get back to the weights, appliances online is 263. But what's interesting, Knight Frank at 267, Peroni at 270. So I don't know whether that's a fudge number on Peroni. It could be anything with Nick.
What's Cooper's there, Warwick?
Crew weight. Cooper's was at 265.
Yeah, they're up there. They were up there.
Compass 265 also. So really, there's a lot of big crews.
Yeah, and
still in second sail.
Ascar is at the light end of the spectrum, so they're happy to be out here with a little sail on all reality relative to the
245, yeah. So, yeah. They're about the same as Noakes Youth. Yeah, 248. Yeah.
So we saw some crashes and burns yesterday, and a couple of boats. There's a few protests that will be heard tonight. Compass Markets retired after finishing yesterday after his incident. Lumix did not finish because of the tangle they had at the bottom mark at Obelisk the second time. I think they're in the protest room tonight as well. But just quickly refreshing the top 10 from yesterday. Yamaha, Cooper 62, Rag and Famish. 3rd was Thurlow Fisher. 4th was Smeg. 5th C-Tech. 6th Noakes Youth. 7th Appliances Online. 8th was Asco. 9th was the Kitchen Maker. He did very well, Steve Quickly. And 10th was Jono Whitty in line 7. So they rounded out the top 10 from yesterday. We're just getting a bit of a rubbish from over here from an old crewmate in Missile. He's out there with Anthony Scarley, both former 18-foot skiff sailors.
Yeah.
And we've just heard the postponement flag has gone up, the red and white postponement flag. So we're on delay for the moment, and you can see the red and white pennant below the course flag there, so we're just waiting now.
And that delay, Pete, they were concerned yesterday they had to OP it for the Manly Ferry, for which the timetable is inexorably fixed, and he'll be emerging around the headland in about 4 minutes' time.
I'm going to put the clock on that, Bucko.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
Yeah, come on.
Timing.
I'm right onto it, shippers. This is awesome.
We've got to get some fact into this story, not some fiction here.
Clock's running, shippers. And we can't see around that cliff, so
well, it'll either
this is
turn
going
up
to be
or
a
it won't.
mystery. This is going to be
It'll turn up. No, they're pretty reliable. Come on.
And we've got the sun's breaking through, and after yesterday's drizzle and dampness, we've got a lovely day. There's a big spectator fleet out. We'll probably see them as the race progresses, but hanging around near the starting boat, there's a lot of yachts and powerboats out with family and friends aboard, and I think that's great. It's all part of Sydney, and the 18-footers, they really attract sailing people and really non-sailing people because they're so spectacular. There's a couple of the spectator boats there, the JBW in the background. It's got the LV sponsors out. They're sponsoring today's event.
Yeah, that's so good. The weather's come good. It was looking like it could be a week of rain, which would have been such a shame for everybody involved.
But I think also Warwick and Andrew looking at the early forecast for Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, which are the next heats 3, 4 and 5. It looks like going to be light days too, I think, Andrew, isn't it, at this stage?
Well, the only day that might not be light's Thursday. Wednesday certainly looks pretty awkward. And, you know, Thursday looks as if it might be a quite unusual wind, sort of medium speed easterly, which is an interesting course and an interesting wind. So if that happens, it'll be a great race. But certainly Wednesday's looking pretty problematic.
Yeah, when I was in the change room with Sevy Jarving and him with weather gear on yesterday, he was on the phone to Clouds, and Clouds made the comment to him that yesterday would be the windiest day of the week, of the regatta.
Of the regatta. Well, it didn't turn out very windy though, did it? So
yesterday?
No. Not really.
No, it wasn't.
Black. Not on average. If that's the windiest day, it's not a very windy week, is it?
Well, you wouldn't expect it to be at this time of the year, would you?
Not really.
Warwick, how's that time going for the ferry, please?
Yeah, well, I think I hit it about a minute late, and we've been running now for 2.5 minutes, so we're about 30 seconds late on that ferry.
Well, that's causing more interest than anything at the
Yeah,
moment.
well,
to see
everyone
when that
had
ferry pops around Bradley's.
Yeah, everyone had the clock on.
Oh dear.
So it's amazing. He's got the timetable and the models in his head.
Yeah. But the breeze is back down again here, isn't it, Andrew? It's, you know, lucky to be 10 knots at the start.
And a big hole, isn't there, between us and the top mark. A bit more breeze in Double Bay, but big patchy stuff.
Anyway, the most entertainment being had here is the appliances online sailing in through the spectator fleet.
Yeah, he's doing.
He's probably getting a couple of beers in that big Dave, would he? Just to settle the nerves.
Look, has he seen us? Look, he's not looking.
He's having a chat.
Fuck, Whitty.
Whitty.
Yeah, fuck. Sorry for swearing. Maybe if some things don't change.
That's right.
Yeah, get some more beers, Whitty.
Anyway,
some things just do not change.
He's probably inwardly happy that he's got his big sail on, I think.
Yeah.
I think if anyone would need the big sail, he probably would in these conditions.
He's wishing that he'd stuck some more money with the bookie, I'd say.
So just to let everyone know then, it's off shot. We've just had to shove it in reverse at full noise to avoid the appliances online T-boning us because he was showboating with the mooch along and all the people on board that. So he's really got his head in the game.
Well, that's the mooch along there that belongs to Matt Allen, the president of Yachting Australia.
Australian Sailing.
Australian Sailing, sorry. Old habits die hard.
Yeah, I know.
Old habits die.
I told him it's going to take a while. I go twilighting with you on Wednesdays.
We're just calling the chief executive of the Australian Yachting Federation, shall we? Just to really put it back in time.
Yellow marks.
And,
I'll lose points if I call them YA marks now.
That's right. Now, if this ferry, this infamous ferry, has not turned up, Warwick.
Well, that's what we're waiting for, those shippers.
It's sunk shippers.
It's probably got run over by those outriggers from yesterday. I wonder where they've ended up.
Well, did you see the Kiwis call them whackers?
Whack that. Thought they might have come over from New Zealand to help Yamaha, but he didn't need too much help yesterday.
No. Oh, sorry, we've got Chits, our main man, director in the back, who was originally a K1W1, and clarify again, Chits, please.
A waka.
It's a waka.
A little bit of spiky wind coming in here, was?
So just to repeat, we're on delay. We haven't got starting signals up yet.
We don't know what it's for, and it's funny, Noakes Youth is given this could happen any time. I feel like they've sailed a long way away from the start line. What do you boys feel? I mean, particularly how patchy this breeze is. You wouldn't want to get yourself caught out and not get down. They don't seem too concerned. We might get onto the race committee and see if we can get a reason for the postponement.
There's a couple of boats just going upwind behind the committee boat. ASCO there, line 7, Compass Global.
Well, that was their stated reason.
I just picked up some chatter on the VHF about a ferry.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So
I believe Andrew. It's just his timing's wrong.
4 minutes was an off-the-cuff estimate, Pete.
No, it's just left Manly.
Well, it's late then, isn't it? I don't think they should start the races. I don't think they should bother about the ferries too much in all reality. But that's just me. Billy Miller would start them back in the olden days.
So they got the tracker out. We've got all the technology running. It's around Clifton Gardens near Taylor Bay, the ferry.
But, you know, they could have easily started the race.
So, yeah, you're only about 15 out, Bucko.
We're on 3 o'clock. It's 1:45. Yeah. Well, you saw how it intercepted with the time yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I'm just wondering.
But who knows? And one of the reasons it does run pretty close to schedule is that they don't run it at full speed. So when they get behind a bit, if it gets late leaving the wharf, they just put the hammer down a bit and pick it back up.
Right.
I've caught the ferry a few times, you know.
Sounds like it.
Fully across it.
Yeah.
Me and shippers use Uber, mate. Okay. AP down.
What are we going to do here? The Nasty's got it. It's all good. So a big bit of no wind coming down the bay now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Warwick, you're on the timer here?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Got it. We're off the ferry. We're going back to the race. So, line bias, Bucko, what are you seeing? See anything?
It breezes bottom minus about 20, so when it's hard right, it's start with hard left at the other end.
The only thing for me, as we have sat here, it looks like generally there's more pressure in the left.
Yeah, but there's been a sort of sustained hole sort of against the hillside.
Yep, it's 5 minutes.
Hello, 12-footer about
Okay, and we've got breeze. We've just got breeze here.
Breeze and hard right wind.
Yeah, what's your reading on that? The wedge.
That's 190 was, every bit off.
You reckon?
Yep. 185 anyway.
And once again, for the people down the pin, they haven't got a very long, they've got a bit of a runway till they hit the bricks.
Yeah, that's good enough for these guys.
Yeah.
No problem, I don't think about that.
But it's going to be a real timing issue as far as pressure here. If you've got pressure at the start, it's probably going to be right.
Yeah.
And if it's down pressure, it's probably going to be left.
Yeah.
So, you know, not only you've got to be on the line and but which is the favoured end? Well, you probably won't know that till about a minute to go before the start.
Yeah, this is a case where you just got to keep the options open until about, as you said, Pete, about 1 minute in these boats, and you can go a long way at full speed in 1 minute. So never a problem.
As long as you can, get a hole or get some runway to get in there. But if you're locked out, it'll be a long way back.
Yeah. So it's 3:45. So what's the odds of a recall, boys? General recall.
I think they'll get away all right on this.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm going general.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to put a buck on general.
There's a great overhead shot from the drone looking back to the famous harbour bridge. We ourselves are right along the side of the committee vessel.
Yeah, I'm going to go back up and buy some space. Sorry, do it going forward.
Yeah. What's the pressure like looking upwind now, Andrew? Now,
Just medium.
Medium.
3 minutes, boys.
Very medium.
3 minutes to the start, and with medium probably lucky to be 10 knots there at the moment.
Yeah, you're spot on, Pete. About 10.
Okay, 2:35.
2.5 to go, so the fleet are all well back from the line at this stage, which is quite understandable at such a time differential to go to the start.
That's good, Was. Wow.
Under 2 minutes. Ferry's just gone past.
So just looking at that, they're pretty much racked up with the favourites all almost to a man, not at the committee boat end. So
Yeah, right.
just, I think, after yesterday's riots, I think there might be a bit of conservatism in the fleet, perhaps.
I can see Smeg coming back on port. Oh, sorry, 1:27.
Yeah, about 1:30. And Thurlow spending some money to mortgage the pin end. And bad waves where we are.
Just a bit more sloppy water, not much pressure. We're down pressure here at the start.
Yeah, looking upwind, it looks softer too, heading up to Double Bay. 1 minute.
1 minute.
So down the port end, we've got Coopers, Yandu, Thurlow, Harkin USA, Smeg. At the boat end, we've got the favoured runners, Noakes Youth, Sea-Tech, Asco. Asco getting a little bit slammed there. They're going backwards. Asco's could be in a bit of trouble. With 35 to, they are in trouble.
Asco's gone.
Yeah,
Gone.
30 to go. They got second row going backwards.
And the fleet looking pretty calm was to me. 25 seconds or about.
Yeah, you're right. They're looking quite well behaved, Bucko.
Bit of truth serum administered overnight.
Just going to slide forward a little bit past this bow of this.
9, 8. Clear start.
Okay, so who's down? Yamaha down the end got a good start. Boats to the right look a bit soft to me. Boats towards the boat end look a little bit soft.
DeLonghi punched out nicely there. He got a ripper of a start. Sea-Tech good.
Yeah, nice bit of wind here in the middle was.
Yeah.
No trouble, I don't
Yamaha
think.
looks good down there, Andrew. He's down right on the pin.
Yep.
He is absolutely smoking.
Brained it.
But
John Winning did well in Yandu.
watch the appliances online come punching out of there though, shippers. He's just behind Knight Frank there, eating a bit of gas. Mainsail flapping, but he'll be happy.
Noakes Youth attack and got caught out by Thurlow. Compensation lawyers, just a shocker.
Well, the Thurlow boys spent their money, the compensation lawyers boys, at the windward end.
Smeg's tacked in the... He got buried. He didn't get a very good start. He's tacked away on port. He's taking a lot of sterns, as you can see, coming right behind the bulk of the fleet. But it's Yamaha that's hard on Bradley's head. If he'll lay through here, I think. Cooper's Dragon Famisher was second yesterday to Yamaha. He's nicely placed as well. DeLonghi in the middle. Knight Frank's doing a good job. But at the race to Bradley's, it's Yamaha at the moment.
Geez, they've topped out of there well.
Got the hammer down.
Certainly has got the hammer down.
Now the next problem they've got though, Pete, looking out to the right, guess what?
Oh, it's Andrew's ferry.
Go the other way.
The ferry,
the
to
ferry.
the Take Me Home ferry.
The appliances online running the big rig, the only favoured boat, be running big, I think the only big
boat,
rig out there
full stop.
is, yeah, that looked a little bit overpowered, didn't too quick to me.
Not for a minute there, but he's back into normal operating procedure now.
Yeah, got him in shot here.
Yep.
Packing off
There he
now.
goes. And that's the right decision for him, and he would know that the ferry will cause some trouble here.
Yeah.
I think it's...
I'd be on port tack if I was in this race right now.
reasonable pressure too between the fleet and the weather mark, I think, Andrew.
A great bit of wind on the right hand edge at the moment.
Yeah, so there's Yamaha. He's just tacked.
So now he's about to come into the lull.
I'm going forward, boys.
He'll
Yeah.
Just watch this though, Was.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of it. Well, we just went through the lull. He's yet to get to it.
So there's a great shot of Yamaha from overhead from our
The dronage. There he goes into the hole.
He's just hit the lee of the Queenscliff ferry. It's outbound to Manly. And he's just starting to get going again now.
Yeah.
Good breeze up this sector of the course.
Terrific pressure now, back again.
Hard right, and the most wind we've seen. A bit of 14 knots here. And
Top
so
mark about 250 metres right on our bow.
AOL back on the starboard tack, shippers, and probably bow not far off the mark.
They'll be out of range now, AOL.
Oh yeah, having a good fight with Esco. But it's then 2 miles downwind, Was.
Yeah.
Yamaha's come back again. He's tacked under the leading bunch.
Well, he knows that's pretty right-hand air he's in
Yeah,
at the moment.
He just knew he couldn't probably cross, or he had to come back and look for his little left-hand shift here, I think, Andrew.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the fleet, Pete, you know, the top 6 boats are the top 6 boats again, sort of.
It's right-hand pressure in the middle too,
more or less. You know, after 5 minutes of sailing, the top 6 are in the top 6
cream has
places.
risen. The cream has risen.
That's exactly right.
On your latte, Bucko.
Copy. I'm going to go up the top mark and turn around.
Yep. So now the tricky part. The Yamaha's got to make a tricky call here. Breeze is well right on the right, and he's into the little header that you get if you're understood here. So have a look at AOL now, Pete. What are we looking at on the screen? Yep.
Yeah, he's up. And it's not huge pressure. It's what, 12 knots-ish, I guess. Andrew, 12 knots here.
10, 11, 12,
Yeah.
just where we are, yep.
So no problem.
Have a
with
look at the
big rig.
angle there. Wow.
No problems with the big rig in this. But C-Tex bailed out and Asco bailed out. Yamaha standing on starboard, waiting for that little header to get back, and probably be pretty close to crossing the fleet. As I look back downwind, DeLonghi's in all sorts of trouble. They nearly went into windward. But the leading group, there's Yamaha. He's come back onto port. He'll be into some nice pressure here shortly.
This is pressure, but it's fairly right-ish.
Yeah. He won't. Will he cross AOL? I don't know whether he'll cross.
No,
AOL.
Yamaha will cross, I think.
He will cross. Okay.
Yeah, Yamaha's leading. I think Frank might even be second.
Okay.
AOL tack back onto port, which is probably the right answer. But I think
Yamaha's well ahead. He's overcooked this mark, but he's just smoking in now. Just sprung. he'll be a really good leader. And the boat that's done very well is Smeg. He got absolutely hammered at the start. He bailed out early, and he's going to be second round.
Yeah.
That is a terrific performance from the defending champion. But that's all Yamaha at the moment. He's first round the weather mark here at Double Bay for the long run now down the harbour to Obelisk. There's Smeg around in second place.
And there's a bit of discussion between the Coopers and the Knight Frank.
Knight Frank third.
A long way, 2 miles down the harbour now to Obelisk.
Coopers again in the mix after their second yesterday.
Yeah, they're very comfortable with their little rig, Pete, and as they even said that they thought that their regatta was, you know, yesterday would be their best race. So, wow, tricky now. A little bit of east in it.
Yeah, as we look down harbour, Yamaha's done an early set. Smeg hasn't set. They've gone held high, and they're just going for their set now. They're just two sail reaching.
I think we might follow that leading pack, guys.
Yeah, the leading pack.
Asco round next.
Asco is round next.
And Peroni, then Noak Sailing.
Peroni.
This will be some good rides down here for these boys. There's good pressure here now. Yamaha looks like they're dealing with that quite well at the moment.
So it's going to be a one-leg run, I think, Andrew, isn't it? Or maybe down the end it'll get a bit funky. They'll probably have to do a late jibe, you think, at this stage?
Yeah, no, there'll be some jibing.
Yeah, there will be.
Have a look at Yamaha now.
Yamaha now, yeah.
So the AOLs watch that carefully, and they've sent their chute still on the face of the puff.
So AOL's going to have a bit on with this big rig.
That's what they live for, mate.
That's right.
And just off our port quarter, Asco is absolutely flying to sailing. Still hasn't set a chute. And really good pressure.
So this breeze has gone east up at this end of the harbour.
So that
Sure has. They're all bow down now. Yamaha's heading towards Clifton Gardens. Down the bow goes of Smeg. Cooper's going down. Knight Frank still hasn't got the pressure.
Very spotty.
Got it.
Very spotty.
Yamaha heading to the headland at the moment. You're going to want to get around. They're going to have to knock off.
I tell you who's doing the right thing here, and that's Furlough. They're pushing hard for height, so they don't have to do a drop and a reset.
So this is very different. So the bridge a lot further left than yesterday, and the guys up now searching for height rather than a proper BMG run. So it's huge starboard jibe, majority starboard jibe doing this run, maybe a little one at the end. Had to get some more pressure out of Rose Bay soon.
Yeah, but they're past that sector really was. This puff won't catch up to the fleet. The fleet's out the other side.
Yeah, well that's helping Yamaha, right?
It's helping the leeward boats at the moment. Yep.
Big time. Yamaha's really stretched away.
Okay, copy.
See Yamaha way in the distance. He's just going across Chowder Bay. He's nice and low. He's got pressure.
We're going to get a close-up off the appliances.
No, we've got boats all over. Okay.
Just saying, nobody this low except appliances. They're shooting the rag. We're shooting the appliances. So he's thinking it's a VMG run from here, I'd say was. And the Yamaha will probably have to jibe from where they are. So
that's right now. Big rig's working just fine.
yeah, you can see that at the bottom, it'll all things being equal, it'll be Yamaha and then AOL.
And out of shot, Smeg getting massively lifted, so AOL getting a lot of separation of that bunch, the weather of them.
And Yamaha now bow up, so
Yamaha's extended at the moment, their lead over this pack.
Gee whiz, there's some angle change though, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
huge.
a good 30 degrees.
Absolutely. If not more.
Perhaps 40, yeah. Even 40.
An AOL that we're looking at now on camera, he's 200 to 300 metres to leeward of the bulk of the fleet. But when he went round with it, he's still got pressure.
Yeah, we're right. We can go.
He's absolutely smoking down here.
Yeah, so he's in full VMG mode there, thinking that he won't have to drop and that it will be a jibe into the mark.
Yeah, no, he'll get round that headland for sure.
Yeah.
Copy. Copy, mate. Well, you...
So, Andrew, we're 2/3 the way down the run, I guess. Looking back upwind for the beat, the long beat into Rose Bay. What are you seeing with wind-wise? It's reasonable pressure there, isn't it? It's not
Going
Yeah,
up,
no, you'd expect there's more wind down this end of the course,
going up the Yama Hutchins.
and that's exactly how it looks.
Boy, Yamaha's really opened up down
Yeah.
here.
Bit more east coming out of Watson's Bay, which these guys are about to get into.
Yeah, which you'd expect. And Yamaha has gone. He's going to have a really good lead here at this turning mark at Optus.
Yeah, it's a long way, Pete, but it's only about probably
He's made a big game, Bucko.
50. Well, look at the bit of wind he's got now.
Yeah.
Made a big game.
I mean, they're going so quick. I understand, but I mean, it is in distance. It's quite large. In time, it mightn't be quite as big as you think because they're going so quickly. But it still is a very commanding lead at this very early stage.
And also, too, guys, no jibe.
The rich got richer.
He's below the mark,
Yeah.
so he can just do a nice windward drop.
Couldn't have
Two sail up to the mark.
any more nicely for him.
All the other boys, about 6 of them, 8, probably more, are definitely going to have to jibe. So he's bolted.
He'll be the only one that won't have to jibe with the leading 20 boats. So
Or maybe AOL.
AOL might get there, but
Yeah.
he got a private header puff, you know.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
geez, you'd buy that every day, wouldn't you?
Oh,
Every day.
They sell it at woolly shippers, you know.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And now any canoes worry? Do we see any outriggers?
there's a few on the beach from yesterday washed up. broken in half. Wonkers. Wonkers.
Okay, we're just honing in on Yamaha now, the leader.
Trying to chase them down. We're full noise at 30 mile an hour, and just pulling it back. Now they go for their drop. We've got a drone in the air, boys.
Great stuff. Just see the mark coming up, 2 boat lengths ahead of him. Squarish there to the mark, but nice and tidy. And set the clock on him now. Nice. Sweet. He's round, clean.
Sweet.
3 strings. And another ferry coming up from Manly down in the distance there.
Yeah,
Andrew,
right.
but he'll cross that, I think. But looking back, it's a long way back.
So even AOL had to jibe.
Yeah,
I
Oh,
you
man.
couldn't have, if you wanted a script to be written for a
Yeah.
leader, that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very bizarre, isn't it? The header that the guys got was big enough that you know, the guys on the eastern shore bent down around a little bit in front of AOL, like Rag and Famish, and then the breeze flicked back, and so then the guys who were on the eastern shore were able to make good VMG on Port Gibe. Here's AOL coming in. So Cooper's is going to be second.
Well, they've been going good. They were really good yesterday, weren't they?
They
No,
did
no.
a terrific job.
They did say they're very happy with this rig,
Smeg coming in 3rd.
but wow. So all that delay the guys went to, you know, before setting, they probably lived to regret. But AOL's still going to be in the hunt.
Have you got a time? Did you get a time on the leaders, Andrew?
Yeah,
what's
it's
it?
just 1 minute.
1 minute, yeah.
Just 1
Wow.
minute and 5.
That's a nice lead.
Oh, no, it's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
Okay, Smeg coming round now in 3rd spot. Appliance is online, a couple of boat lengths behind him in 4th, and then Knight Frank will be next. Round goes the defending champion, Smeg.
AOL, big
AOL.
rig.
Now
This will be a good test. These two boats, Smeg on small rig, AOL on big rig.
There's quite a bit of wind up the harbour, but there's not much wind here at the bottom mark.
Right, Frank, then furlough.
Oh, and look at the Smeg.
Wow. Big right-in pressure.
Huge right-hander.
Whoa.
So the Coopers, they've nearly caught the Coopers in all that, haven't they?
And that's what Yamaha got, right? On the run.
Yeah, right and then left, you know.
You know, but that's what got them down here.
So the Asco coming
in. Causing some mayhem here.
This will be good.
Coming in a bit hot and a bit out of control.
Yeah, got to get a jibe in.
Jibe, drop.
Harrison got a bit
pressure
on.
The seat deck. Just has to dive around the back of them. They're well past the mark.
Just upright will be a good job, mate.
Yep.
Don't worry about the detail.
And they're yelling. Peroni coming in. Just slips inside Asco. Compass Global Markets. Up inside Asco also. Then Noak starting. Good job by Sean Langman. Ahead of Howie Hamlin.
Now, this might be a repeat of yesterday a bit.
Yep.
You know, there's guys.
Look at this pack in here. This is going to be mayhem, boys.
There's guys on port, there's guys on starboard, there's guys overstood, there's guys.
Yep. Steve quickly trying to get in there. Lumix trying to get in. Lumix, he's going to cause some mayhem.
By the lead.
Oh.
Bangs into Kitchenmaker, who bangs into line 7. DeLonghi's underneath. What's DeLonghi going to do?
And the boats just tend to stick together.
Punch around.
Line
7's got to go.
Line 7's gone. Woody got round the side of them. He'll be all right.
Oh, they're rafted up. I can hear carbon crunching.
It's only wires was.
Come on, bucko.
Kitchenmaker and line 7 are locked.
Story.
Another joint at the hip job.
Oh dear.
Oh, this is going to be end in tears here with line 7.
Yeah. Noakes Youth, I saw back of the pack again, making life difficult for themselves.
See these two boats, they're still tangled up.
Man, it's a raft up.
John O'Witty trying to... Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's enough.
Now they're back in the jib on line 7.
Terrific shots from the drone.
Enough footage here for the protest committee anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Poor old Steve Quigley in Kitchenmaker got all chicken winged up. He's still a long way from being right. Backs the jib, now he gets going.
Going back over another
but that was costly for all of those boats. So that was the drama. Always drama down here at Obelisk the last couple of days as we're going upwind and seeing what's happening with the leaders. He's struggling a bit there. Just look at AOL struggling upwind. The breeze is right up now again. It's what, 15, 18 knots there at the gusts, I guess, Andrew, and he's okay. He's comfortable, but probably overpowered at times.
Yeah, no, it's the expectation is, of course, that 14 knots, and he's getting 14 to 16, which it is now.
He's going inside out now, Andrew.
He's getting inside out. Yep.
That's not fast.
No.
But he's hanging in there well.
Yeah, well, Smeg, he went round with Smeg a couple of boat lengths behind. Smeg's extended on him.
So what he'd be a bit disappointed about was that the gain that he could have expected to have on the run didn't turn up for quite odd reasons, you know. Anyway, here we go. It's the yacht race.
Isn't it? Good shot of Smeg just at the Western Channel highlight on Sydney Harbour. But way in the distance is Yamaha. He's bolted again. Absolutely bolted.
If he stays in one piece.
Well, you'd hope so and you'd think so, but yep. Stranger things have happened. Cooper's Rag and Famish would be second, and we're looking at the third place getter at the moment, Smeg, who's punching in towards Bottle and Glass. He's just about to tack and go up on port tack up harbour, but he's done a pretty good job again, Smeg, to wriggle himself up into the place getters.
World class wriggling every day, these boys.
Yeah. Well then, Bucko, that's the holes at the moment haven't eventuated, and the predict wind
down on this here
is pretty much right.
Well, we're just about slack water now, Andrew, and tide-wise.
Just probably the current won't be coming in for another half an hour with the fresh and so forth, but yeah, slack water technically, but not in reality.
The other boat that's done well is Knight Frank.
He's obviously not slow.
No, they've been going well up.
Yeah, quite fast. We're getting wet,
Yeah.
They were third at the first mark, and then at the turning mark they were fifth, so they've hung in there very well. But Yamaha is way up, approaching on starboard tack going into Rose Bay now.
You might go up and have a look at that, boys, eh?
Yeah, there's Smeg. Smeg looks comfortable.
And Cooper's Rag and Famish will just cross Smeg, I think.
No, pretty easily was.
Easy cross. Easy cross.
A bit of 16 here, so more solid pressure here than we might have expected.
Great shot of Yamaha from the overhead drone, and we ourselves are right behind him. How does his rig set up compare to the Australian boats, Andrew? We were behind Smeg earlier. Yamaha tacks.
He's a little deeper in the bottom of the mainsail, noticeably, a bit more twist. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
So surprisingly deep at the bottom batten, at the bottom draft stripe, in fact. But a lot of twist, no main sheet out. So he's in this wind speed with, you know, bolted in, using his Cunningham eye a lot by the look of that. And, you know, pretty straight left curve in the head of the sail. So a little bit different to the Australian setup. That one.
He's obviously doing the job for him. He looks very comfortable, doesn't he?
Well, the top of the sail, Pete, very stable, very flattened. So effectively, his centre of effort is very low. How adaptive it is down low, he seemed to make it work down low pretty well.
He's punching into this Nielsen Park shore, Steel Point. He's just tacking now, and the next turning mark is up at Shark Island. So he's about He's got about another 5 or 6 minutes to go upwind before he turns and runs back down towards the starting area. And he's a very, very comfortable leader. Breeze is good, solid now, Andrew. 8, 16, 17 knots.
No, the puffs are 16, Pete, where Yamaha is now 16, 17. But what's happened is the lulls aren't as lully as they were, so the flying surface has been filled in a bit.
But looking between us now, Yamaha and the weather mark, there's very few lulls in the breeze.
No, solid,
constant.
Looking upwind.
Up pressure.
Yep.
What do you think, Chip?
So, Andrew, with the breeze direction, I guess, unlike yesterday, we'll get spinnakers on the next run down to the Athol turning mark.
Well, shippers, there's still a fair bit of back and forth in it. I think it'll be the set and squeak past Bradley's job, you know.
Yeah, he's got enough in up his sleeve just to take it pretty easy, I think, Yamaha. But,
he doesn't have to prove anything now. He's just got to stay upright. And be error free. I don't think anybody will catch him. So breeze just softening a little now here. Yeah, conservative thing to do is get to the mark and have a look at the angle that you get out of the jib. He's well up on the ley line now, I would say. Here he goes.
Nice flat water, nice breeze.
No, nice. Just get ready for the mark rounding. Sure.
Bullet here, Pete.
Yeah, little loppy sailor. Yeah, belting it out.
It is super fresh at the weather mark now. Super fresh.
Super fresh where we are.
He's not going to lay here, Yamaha, so he's got two more tacks to come.
So that tells you, Pete, that it'll be a bit of a tight angle down to Bradley.
Sure. It was a long way up to try and hit his ley line, but he's missed it. Yeah. That's okay. It's nice conservative sailing. No overlay, just two tacks in.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Pete, in these boats at pace, when it gets windy, you might as well overstand 3 boat lengths, really, because the tack's pretty expensive.
Sure.
And pretty dangerous. So even though these guys make it look pretty easy, there's no such thing as a no-risk tack once the wind speeds up.
Just using their Vang, plenty of jib off.
Round now, clock's running. So he's, we look way back in the distance, there's...
well, Cooper's is second. They're on the port tack ley line on the far shore.
Yeah, well, they were second before, right?
No, the other boat that's come into it is Knight's Frank here, Andrew.
Oh, this is the Kiwi conditions here.
Yeah, well, he could be close to Cooper's here.
And just in your left, those Smeg boys.
Smeg's in it as well. So I think Knight's is behind Cooper's. Yeah, Cooper's is across. So he crossed Knight Frank. And here comes Smeg. Smeg will be very close to Cooper's here for second.
Yeah.
But I think Smeg's on the lay line.
I think they've got them.
Yeah, Smeg looks like they've got in front of Cooper's, but Cooper's
Yeah.
on the lay line, yeah, so it'll be close, but there's the action.
And AOL struggled up there, I think, Andrew, at the last part with that big rig on.
Yeah,
He's
no,
he dropped considerably.
He did a bit of flapping and a bit of a slope.
Furlow Fisher's into it too. He
was always just there.
Yep.
He's
Anyway, so Smeg's second.
He's no slouch.
Now Yamaha way in the distance, no spinnaker. He's almost at Bradley's head. Do we get a time there?
Yeah, it's one.
It's 1:15.
1:15, almost exactly the same as the bottom of
Yeah.
the beat. So not truly all that much happened on that beat.
But Jesus, it's a long way visually, right?
Yeah, sure. So the Knight Frank has made ground, that's for sure.
Well, oh, gee, there's not a great tack on the Knights, but is Furlow Cocco's going to slide in there in front of him. So he will go into fourth spot. Knights Frank fifth. And then probably we wait for a fair gap now. Probably Compass Global Markets will be next.
Yeah. They'll be enjoying these conditions, Compass boys.
Yeah, I was just watching appliances there for a minute, Pete. They just had a big flap and a big hit.
Yeah, he struggled unfortunately
for
for
dragging that thing around now.
Anyway.
Yeah, so AOL was fourth at the previous mark. He's dropped to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. So
he's given away 2.
Yeah. Asco's having a tough time of it today, boys, relatively speaking.
Yep.
But probably not that far back. Oh, Howie Hamlin's maybe had a shot. Yeah, he's had a shock. I don't know what happened.
he's ducking
there.
and weaving there.
Yeah.
Looks like you and I sailing that boat at the moment, Warwick.
Oh, come on, mate. We'd be on fire.
He's got a bit on.
We just had a bit of lead at the bottom of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's follow the AOL was. It might be pretty exciting.
Yeah, okay.
He's having trouble
Happy to
getting
do
the
that?
bow down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty windy at the moment. Here he goes.
Great shot from the drone there, boys. Two sail reaching, probably one of the hardest things to do in these boats. And, these boys are doing it, making it very comfortable.
Noticeably though, Asco doesn't enjoy this, it seems. Was they're a bit wriggly.
Yeah, they are. I noticed that yesterday, definitely not as confident. Yep. And that's with second sail on versus a big sail. AOL, that extra sail area, stability, following that thing down around the bow of Asco, had trouble getting away initially. Now they're looking comfortable.
And the leader's having a shoot up to get down to the mark.
Dropping. That's ragged, yeah, at the moment. Compass Global Markets on our bow had a shot of being a little bit more lifted, but as you said, it's a
look at Asco and appliances online now. Asco coming up to windward of Dave Witt on appliances online.
And C-Tech coming in.
C-Tech, you'll come in smoking into the picture.
Yeah.
They look very comfortable
Still, Pete, depth is king here, so yeah, appliances online is a leeward boat. These guys are definitely going to have to set a shoot to get down to the mark.
Yep.
Appliances may not have to. And that's what he's working on. Just got a cruising boat that's a little bit on the racetrack down there.
Yeah, well, Bucko, as you said, if Weedy and Tom don't have to set a shoot and the others do, it's going to be a gain back to them.
He kept his depth there, Weedy, and just snuck punched out in front of Asco.
Yeah.
C-Tech a little bit high, but he looks nice and stable, C-Tech.
Yeah.
C-Tech reaches well also. Yeah. Compass is the one in trouble out of that group now. They've got an awkward alignment.
A lead change in minor placings. Cooper's 62 has gone into second place. Smeg third. But Yamaha keeps on keeping on. He's a clear leader. And then Knight Frank into fourth.
Tell me what to do.
Knight Frank to fourth, and then Burlo Fisher dropped back a bit then. That was a funny run. Some went high and put spinnakers up. I don't know whether Yamaha actually put a spinnaker up.
No, he got there without a shoot.
Yeah, jeez.
What? Talk to me, Chits. It's clear com, please. Can't see.
So the C-Tech and the Compass have both swapped places. Places online, as we anticipated, made up some of the ground they lost on the beat. Yeah, what's happening wind-wise was?
It's more pressure than the first, but just got a little bit patchy between the Mark and Clark Island, but definitely more pressure than the first beat.
Yeah, so it's built a little, 2 knots probably on average down this end of the course.
Geez, Noakes Youth has come through quite well again, as they were almost last at the bottom mark.
Yeah. Why don't we go and have a look at the Smeg or something, was?
Where are they, mate?
Yep.
Copy.
The shot here, Warren.
Yeah, copy. Got the Smeg on screen there, mate.
Nice cruising boat. Now this cruise at the moment is in the left.
So a good battle between Smeg, Dragon Famished, and Knight Frank from New Zealand. Good scrap there.
Well, it's certainly an accurate time on the leading margin at the start.
Some little issue on the Coopers. They just went and fixed the jib sheet. I don't know what's going on there, but they didn't stop. But little running repair issue.
Well, we just saw it. Yamaha got almost slammed dunk way up ahead there. The pressure very funky up the deep. Today.
Knight Frank have done a good job. They were 11th yesterday in the first heat, but they're enjoying these conditions at the moment.
Yeah, this is solid reef now.
Terrific battle. We've got Cooper's out to windward, who was second yesterday, and just ahead of them is Smeg, who would probably be still third on the race course. Plenty of wind as Yamaha's way in the distance, approaching the weather mark in Double Bay, but good shot here of Knight Frank.
Drag race between Knight Frank and Dragon Famished.
Coopers is munching him a bit at the moment, to be fair.
I'm just trying to see the line that just jumped out forward drags, haven't they?
Yep. And they seem to be marching up on the Smeg a little bit too, to me, wasn't Smeg into the big
hit the header.
Into the header here.
And a pumpy header.
So funny wind again, back to
Rags down 2 at the moment.
back to light medium air on this bit of the track under Point Piper.
Rags tacked.
He's tacked back to go back to the wind, I think.
Yeah,
Pete.
well, he wants some more solid pressure where the other boys got a bit more for the shift.
Yes.
Knight Frank are probably going between the two.
Yeah, Smeg is tacked. Knight Frank is just tacking, going back up towards Clark Island, and they're got about 200 to 300 metres away from the weather mark, whereas Yamaha is approaching the weather mark on starboard. He's right at Clark Island, away in the distance.
It just had a shot, guys, like Coopers and AOL really punched out to the right quite aggressively. A lot more than these. Thurlow, I mean,
yes,
sorry.
yes.
They punched out to the right a lot further. And it's a little bit more funky approach that way.
Smeg's got some good height on port coming in.
So Yamaha just about to come around the mark. Go up and get set for them.
Time on Yamaha, he's at the mark.
have got.
What did it say? It's about a minute 12 at Shark Island.
Minute 15, a minute 12,
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. Yep.
Look, it's very light air. That's on Yamaha.
So Smeg's wriggled himself into second spot.
Yamaha out of shot, little wine glass. Now it pops out. Now they start to get the pressure back.
Well, it's going to be Yamaha at the moment. Smeg will do a great tack there. Back up the pressure and speed. He will lead if he's laying. He's laying, Andrew, isn't he?
Yep, he's laying.
He's laying.
They're all laying.
Cooper's on his hammer, but it'll be Smeg second. He's laying. Nice pressure to come round in, but not much behind it. A bit of a gap. And then Knight Frank will be fourth. Yeah, they're cracked and laying. So Smeg around, and what's the time? What's the delta here?
102, 103, 104, so they've made 106.
106, about the same.
Small change, but nothing,
not much.
Okay, Smeg second.
nothing material.
Cooper's Rag and Famish, Jack McCartney in third.
Doing a good job.
Great job.
So these guys will go straight to the set here now.
Big Pete Harris pumping away on the halyard to get her set, and there's Knight Frank,
nice set.
another New Zealander. So New Zealanders 1 and 4, Australia 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Just
Good
making
stuff, eh?
making up the numbers really too.
Yeah.
aren't we, today?
I like that. It's good to see these Kiwis getting on the pace. Or more than on the pace.
A bit too on the toes.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like it.
No,
I
it's
like
great.
it.
It's
I like
good.
it.
Well,
Class.
Furlough around next,
So-
and then AOL.
So Thurlow be thinking he has to catch these guys to keep his relativity. Oh, and that's not good, guys.
You all right?
Wow.
Okay, and AOL.
So what are the places? So we got Yamaha first, Smeg second, Rags third, Knight Frank fourth, Thurlow fifth,
AOL sixth.
and then probably Compass.
Or ASCO.
Maybe
Yeah, probably
ASCO,
Compass
yeah.
across.
Compass.
We
Seven.
got Big Dave Witt barking out the orders. Away they go.
Great set though, really. Windward set.
Yeah,
Pretty
not
good.
easy.
Yeah. Now they're all starting to split up a bit, so it's a bit hard for us to be in 10 places at one time, but
just looking down the course way in the distance, they've really taken big headers and they're struggling to get round the headland down there. Yamaha and Smeg are bow down.
I think we'll stay on this battle coming up
Yeah.
between Compass, C-Tech and ASCO. That's the sort of closest battle at the moment back here,
C-Tech.
which are fighting out for the top 10, and Noakes Youth just jumped into 10th.
C-Tech.
And Oak Sailing.
Global, Compass Global around. C-Tech is next. Then ASCO. And then Noakes Youth.
So they've come up about 10 places.
That's going to be disappointed with that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they've
they would.
again they've gone backwards a bit, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. So we might just run down with this group. Peroni, Nick Daly next. And Noakes Sailing. Ooh, Noakes Sailing over the top, Peroni out of shot, and now they're sorted. So Peroni nearly went in.
Have a look at AOL down at Bradley's Head was.
Yeah.
What we're seeing way in the distance, we're not in shot at the moment. We're on Noakes Youth, who's doing a good job hard on ASCO's hammer, but Yamaha had to drop his spinnaker to get round the headland. Smeg is just hanging on to it.
There's someone in the drink there, but I don't know if it's not one of the leaders.
No, it's not. It's either a 12-foot skiff or an 18 that was coming
Right.
up from on the previous leg. AOL's dropping his spinnaker at Bradley's Head.
Yeah.
Smeg is absolutely smoking down on Yamaha, but Yamaha's got enough in the bank.
Well, looks like Yamaha's knocked their chute off.
They did around the point.
Yeah, they couldn't get over the headland on this side of Chowder Bay.
Yeah. So the Rags have got a lot more crew weight than the Yamaha. when they look a lot further up, they might have made a bit of a gain.
Yes.
On the Yamaha there. It's a bit hard to tell from where we are.
Great shot of Noakes Youth and Asco going hammer and tong at it. Both look very comfortable there. Sea-Tech just in front of them, another New Zealand boat. Plenty of pressure.
So 3 Kiwis in the top 10, that's awesome.
George's Head, still without a spinnaker. I would think Smeg will either be having cocktails at Clifton Gardens if he doesn't drop his spinnaker, or he'll have to drop it and go round George's Head. Same with Cooper, so they're struggling to get round. There goes Smeg dropping his spinnaker way in the distance, we can see. Yeah. We'll catch them shortly.
Nice restaurant up there on the hill, Pete, the Gunners Barracks, where the gunning place used to be.
Correct, the window.
Yeah. And so the furlough's going to drop theirs inside of the 6-inch gun, I think.
So we're a bit over 25 miles an hour, and we're just, well, actually Asco went away from us then.
Yeah.
So beautiful second SAR conditions, not too much bump. Absolute smoking. Look at Asco.
Look at Asco. He's just got the turn in the water.
Yeah.
Same with Noakes Youth. Terrific.
So they've all had to knock their chutes off to get around George's Head, right?
No, Coopers didn't.
Coopers didn't.
No. Oh, right, yeah. Just stayed up high early, and probably their extra crew weight got him round.
Yep, yep.
So I'd say he's punched himself into second place. Smeg third.
Yep.
And Knight Frank, she had to drop. Furlough drop. AOL drop. I think this group here that we're on, Noakes, Asco, Sea-Tech and Compass.
I tell you what, guys, Asco's come down on the face of this path.
Yes.
And it's like a God-given little bit of wind.
Yeah.
He's
just extended away a little bit from Noakes Youth and starting to roll over to Sea-Tech.
And he's at full noise.
Well, I'll tell you what, they got a bit more riding moment too, Bucko.
Yeah.
I don't know what the number is.
No, he's not that heavy.
245 he's saying, so you're right.
He's light.
No, they just got that beautifully.
Compass going to rag it. Wow, that's a big call.
Yeah, that is a big call.
So they're all going to have to drop, I think, even Asco.
They've all just smoked out. Beautiful.
Have a look at the Compass, boys.
You're going to have a crack at it.
Screen. Yep.
Okay, Noakes Youth is going to the drop. So they've blown it. The other three might be trying to...
No, the Compass looks like they're going to get there.
Yeah.
Holy. Now these other boys having to set again to get down to the mark.
Well, Asco just smoked over the top of Sea-Tech. I don't know we're on Compass.
That group's come down the run with a good path.
Yeah.
With the wind a bit further in the right, and they've actually caught the lead group.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Noakes Youth just missed out on that little bit, and the others just sort of sat on the front of that and just stayed with it all the way down.
Asco in particular.
Yeah, they were on fire.
Pretty lumpy water here for some reason. Watching the boys.
Ferry and a few foul boats.
Yep. So the Smeg around third, Pete, and
yes,
they've all caught the leader a bit.
That's right. Well, especially Cooper's, Rag and Famish. They did a terrific job there. They got round George's Head, held on to their spinnaker, got clearly into second place, and have closed up the distance to Yamaha. As we're watching Compass Global going down to the mark, and it'll be Thurlow Fisher will go round 4, and Knight Frank will be still in place.
Yeah, the lifting and lightning, it's amazing, isn't it? Look at the AOL. He's in half the wind these guys are in.
Yeah. Asco was the one that made the big inroads there.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the mark, almost again a lull at the mark. Anyway, AOL in there okay.
famous Obelisk Bay turning mark where we've seen carnage. Oh, there's a capsize over to our starboard side. Compass Global has taken a dive as he was jibing.
Excused himself before the competition.
Yes, yeah, that's a shame.
Yep.
AOL, nice and
a bit
clean.
scrappy too. Out of that drive.
Yeah.
Big holes, as you said, Bucko, amazing.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
16 knots to our right and about 10 knots to our left.
C-Tech around. Bit late, bit untidy. Here comes Asco.
Or C-Tech.
C-Tech not too tidy. Asco very awkward here. I think he might do a granny. No. Marcus, not going to die wondering. There he goes.
He's right.
It's pretty good. Except Sevy left the main sheet behind.
Oh, had a bit on there. And doing Bucko. Tough coach. You're right.
Well, sort of in the cardinal sin category a bit. You know.
Yeah. Main sheet
And
and main sheet.
main sheet hand drops a main sheet. It's a bad thing.
Warwick,
Don't worry, I've done it a few times.
Not sure.
I hate to say, Warwick, I think Noakes Youth took a tumble.
Yeah, looks like it.
There's a boat in the water up in line with Shark Island, and I think that unfortunately is Noakes Youth.
Yeah. Well, they were just on the back of this pack and they're no longer there.
No, because here comes Noakes sailing. This is,
Sean's doing a good job.
Yeah, Sean Langman, another class veteran.
Better, and we've got to create a new category. The blokes are getting so old.
Yeah. Amazing.
Well, there is a trophy for, I think, the over 50s, isn't it? That's the Scots Hill Trophy. I think it's called the Scotsman's Hill Trophy.
That's correct. I think they have to introduce one for the over 60s, surely, that Pete.
Yes.
All right, boys. I think we'll watch Sean come round the mark, and he's moved up 2 places ahead of Noakes Youth and Compass Global Markets at this stage. So he's got himself into the top 10. So great job there. And then we'll go and it's so spread out again. It's
Global's next around. He got himself out of the capsize and back into it. But a long way, a lot of ground lost there. Peroni will be next around.
Yeah.
all right. So we might chug up to the leader again, eh?
Why don't we just chug past C-Tech and have a look at them? Because we can go via C-Tech and AOL, perhaps, was.
Follow the dots up to the leader, Bucko.
Join the dots back up to the leader.
Yep. These big shifts.
Amazing.
C-Tech.
Yep.
Down 30. Just in front of them, Noakes Youth back up and having another crack at it. Snakes and ladders for them today. Looks like they've broken something because I can see Reece Mara doing some repairs on the shockies on these Noakes Youth.
So these guys plugging this side pretty hard whilst they stay out of the tide, which is now ebbing.
Yeah.
So virtually the whole fleet on, except for Smeg in the middle. Oh, I'm sorry, Yamaha. Dear me.
It's been ebbing since the start.
Yeah. Appliances they're attacking the shoreline for no other reason particularly.
Well, they've dealt with that well, considering the rig they're going on, which obviously is not the preferred rig for the day. They've dealt with it all pretty well, I would have thought.
Well, I mean, that's their strength, isn't it, that they can do it, so...
Well, Knights Franks had a shot, had a sloppy tack. They're okay.
So let's go up to AOL because they've gained on Knight Frank here. downwind in the middle here for a minute.
Yeah. Gotta make sure we don't get too far away from the drone. Gotta get upwind.
Got great drone pictures of the seat deck.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, AOL just behind Knights Frank. Asco's pushed all the way to the exit shore just to let you know.
Oh, he's got to he has to roll the dice a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Hello.
Ooh.
How about that for a bit of let's have a little header.
Little header and a change in velocity. It gets really bumpy up there under Nielsen. He's about 50 metres away from danger territory in my mind.
Oh yeah, but they'd be confident about handling that. They'd be happy to have a bit less wind. Good stuff.
Drone coming down, shit.
So we've got appliances from the drone and from the surface camera. How's that? Uh-oh. Just in the back of the puff. Not bad.
Yeah. Nice puff. And nice flat water for him here for a little bit.
Yep.
To let you know, Yamaha's punched well south.
Yeah, the fleet's pretty much
They
over.
all are. They're sort of favouring that
over
western side a bit.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got Thurlow in shot now, boys. Just
look at David. Wow.
Oh, look at these waves.
I mean, there's a bloke that's never ever been sailing, the bloke in that speedboat.
Just hold on, boys. This is dodgy.
Capsizing the camera cat.
Yeah. We all good back up? Yeah.
What was the issue?
Look at those blokes on the harbour, really.
That's just very bad.
It is bad.
Just bad form. It's
Anyway, we've seen it for a long time.
Yeah,
it doesn't get any better.
It's worse with these boats, shippers, you know, they just dig a big hole now, these things. Rivieras and stuff.
Shippers, it's definitely not getting any better. It's getting worse at quite high speed, in fact.
Yeah.
The powerboat wash problem.
AOL might be coming into that wake through the other side. But a cruising boat sort of in irons, a little bit, maybe 50 metres ahead of where David and Tommy Cloud, Tommy Anderson are. Just aware of the drone sheds below mast height of a cruising boat that you're approaching, mate. Sheds, get the drone out. Copy, good.
Great stuff.
Altitude says fine.
Dunno. Great stuff.
Okay, the drone can follow us now, it's fine at that altitude. Alright, might go up and have a look at the drone coming in. Copy. So, Rag and Famish, just a little bit of what are we shooting here at the moment. I think we've got Yamaha on screen, we do, heading up to Shark Island. Getting to the end of this long beat.
Rag is a clear second, Warwick. They came out of Taylor Bay well ahead of Smeg. Yamaha is still in the lead, but not by, you know, the distance is closed down.
Copy. Going forward.
Yes, Yamaha's standing away on starboard.
Yeah, Rag
into Rose Bay, and Rag has closed up.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
We'll go up there and catch up with these boys. Top three, it's our podium. We've got a little bit more of this beat to go than Blue Sail Reach, maybe a shoot, and then up to the finish. Sorry, boss.
very exciting finish here because Cooper's drag and damage has closed right up on Yamaha. Smeg's still in the mix, but a little way back in third. But the battle for first is still on, very much so. But well, halfway through the race, it was probably reasonably clear cut, but not at the moment.
Well, Pete, it looks like Cooper's has passed a straight line in this up range stuff. But it will all come down to probably down to the reach, because there's quite big gains and quite big losses available if you don't execute that properly.
Very windy again up at the weather mark. 16, 18 knots here at the moment. Yamaha standing right into Shark Island. He'll tack shortly. There he goes.
Plenty of traffic here to keep
Yeah.
keep everybody honest.
Complete clown in this grey boat.
Like he's just been determined to be next to us all the way through and be a blocker.
And trying to put Bondi Beach waves all over.
Side waves here.
Yeah, dickhead.
Oh yeah, what's the bad waves again? I'm just going to come around.
Well, there's these places.
Just watch, hang on, boys.
Places have changed a bit there. Smeg's got himself back into second, I think, Andrew.
Really?
That's I lost quite what Cooper's did then. He was a lot closer to Yamaha. As Yamaha's now tacking for the lay line for the Shark Island mark, and I think Smeg, if he's not second, he'll be a lot closer to Cooper's than what he was.
Well, the fleet has closed up, but Smeg, Cooper's has to tack. Wow.
Wow, that
should have ducked him.
That's
should have
costly.
ducked him. He was on the lay.
He was probably on the lay.
The chipperways.
The chipperways.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice
Cooper's
job,
tacked
Smeg,
back.
again.
Cooper's had to duck.
Would have ducked there, would you think, Andrew? Or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Christopher, what's standing on here, dude? Please no. Can't stand on it, dude.
Easy from here, though. There goes Yamaha. He's round. Gone.
The Camera Cat wins every race, Shippers, haven't you?
Well, I know that. I know that, Andrew.
Good.
The what wins every race?
The Camera Cat.
Especially when I'm the skipper.
Well, look, we've got shippers on board.
How could you lose? Okay. It's going to be a great battle for second. I think, well, Yamaha's clear, really. I think, barring unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah.
I think he's...
So they will have to get a shoot on,
Yeah,
Pete.
they will, and this will be the telling factor. So there's Smeg. He's round. Cooper's third, and then a long way back to Thurlow.
Yeah.
So the top four from yesterday are the top four today, as Yamaha sets a spinnaker.
Okay, we're going to go forward, boys. We'll follow this battle. I think we'll follow the top three.
Yeah, he's realised what he's got to do to keep the pack at bay.
Yeah. So this will be a good battle for,
Good battle really
for
for the
second,
top
third,
three.
probably.
Yeah.
I think what we'll see here is the Coopers will set before Smeg. There they go.
Yeah, there goes Cooper's now.
The Coopers boys pretty confident in their ability on this. Here they go. Wow.
I don't think they're going to get there, Bucko.
No, but
They're having a crack.
they're having a crack. And
Yeah,
they're going to run out of wind now.
Yeah. Snakes extended through all that.
But-
Look at Yamaha. He's going down
Yes.
Yamaha's just got
towards
some-
Clifton
Coming
Gardens.
in to the right a bit, but you pick up Yamaha.
He's got to drop. He's no doubt he'll have to
Down
drop there to
there.
get round Bradley's. Way
Yeah.
goes Cooper's.
Now the Smeg is thinking,
Yeah, so that's
okay.
He's in the middle of the track. Smeg hasn't set yet.
Yeah. And Rags come back,
Rag's dropping. Rag is dropping the chute.
Yeah.
Right in.
So let's go and follow the Smeg Yamaha thing. So I think speed's going to get there, but they are going to get there nicely.
Yamaha's in front.
Yamaha will be okay.
Right, Buck, I'm saying that I will time out.
Oh, okay. Well, that goes Smegger jumped in on Cooper's.
Yeah.
I think he probably had to go for it, Cooper's, really.
Yeah,
See what was happening. He wasn't going to lose third spot, he could have gained second, but... See, Yamaha are way in the distance, smoky to get round Bradley's, which he'll get round with ease.
Yeah.
Smeg will have to, he's got a decision to make here shortly. He'll have to go up and then set, I think, would you, Andrew? Yeah, no, he's just got to keep going through strength as he's doing. And when he pitches right, and he's probably not far off the step.
Yeah.
Bow goes down 30, you can see his feet, so we go, okay, 30 degrees. Let's have a look.
The question is going to be, does Yamaha have to do another set again?
Probably not. He'll probably fake his way down to the mark a bit, like I say.
Yeah. Because then it'll be one set each, right?
Yeah.
Two sets, two drop.
Exactly. So Smeg
one
has to set now. Has to set now.
Yeah.
See Yamaha just going down there
They're
too.
so patient, aren't they?
They are. They're incredible.
Yeah. Just keep an eye on them with your chits. See, look at that. Just so patient.
I'd have it up already.
Yeah, no, amazing.
There he goes. He's waiting for the puff. He has to set. Yep.
Windward set.
Yeah, awkward.
And look, Yamaha's having to do a set, Bucko.
Yep, just to get down.
Yep, just last little bit.
Nothing easy about this course.
So it'll be interesting to get the gap on this.
No, he's still comfortable. Yamaha Cooper's, who's in third place, he's just getting round Bradley's. He's just setting his behind us. He's 100 metres or so behind the Smeg. They laying the mark, Andrew. I can't see the mark.
He's just squared her up a bit, gone 2 strings. DMG run into the mark, all good.
Okay.
Can time the drop, no problem.
Oh well. The one Rags in third place here. Yamaha around. Right, Smeg's cleaned up, so that was like a minute 10 or something before. And it's going to be under a minute.
Yeah,
well under a minute.
30 seconds, really.
Yeah, so one less set, one less drop.
Did well in the last part of that beat into Rose Bay, Smeg. He was
well
behind Cooper's, and he didn't quite see what he did, but whatever he did it very well.
Magic man.
Just got to the right edge and got the nice bend up around the bottom of a shark.
So coming around, so Smeg around now at 35.
Yeah.
So
That's what it looks like.
we clear behind. Push.
Wow. So the Smeg being very patient again. It was. They're not attacking the Yamaha too much.
Yeah, I think.
That'll do, mate.
So right back over. Thank you.
Smeg almost tacked the mark to try and stay to leeward of Yamaha, but
And the furlough's made up somehow down that reach.
yes. Oh, breeze up again as we get a drenching. Oh, and another one.
A lot of wind on the left and none on the right.
Also, too, look at all these boats coming around Bradley.
Look at the spectator boats.
Breeze looks left here, Andrew, as
Yeah, it
Yamaha
is.
stands into
It is.
Bradley's, doesn't it? Like a Spanish Armada coming round Bradley's head with spectator catamaran, or not spectator boats, but pleasure catamarans and
Charter
power
boats.
and charter boats. And
Another freight train shipment.
that's right.
Another invasion. Oh, look at this. It's got hot spring.
Oh,
Wow.
Look, go behind Smeg and Night Spring. Whoa. Night Spring nearly smashed into them. That was so close.
Night Frank now yelling at the cruising.
Yeah, well, that's it. We're going forward, Bucko.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's why I pointed out about all those boats coming around the point, that it could well play havoc with all that, and that was the case.
Sure did.
Nice
Smeg's tacking here off to our starboard, and just keeping a nice rein on Cooper's, I think.
Yeah.
I think he realised that Yamaha's probably gone.
Yeah,
It's Yamaha's tack. He's not the greatest tack he's ever done, but he's comfortable. He's got a good enough lead to consolidate this victory. But while Thurlow Fisher is the perhaps the wild card, he stood way out on port tack, going right out to the right. It's the last throw of the dice, I think, for Coco out there.
Well, the breeze, you know, the breeze is south-southeast, Pete, and the tide's ebb. So if there's any opportunities, they're usually out that side, but I doubt he'll be able to make enough impression in reality.
Yeah, well, I think he was safe before, so he had to roll the dice. And, yeah, who knows what'll happen. Good pressure as we're watching Yamaha just keep a nice cover on Smeg, who's tacked again behind him. He's going away on port tack, Yamaha starboard tack.
You'd think it would need an error from Yamaha for them to lose from here. But Thurlow looks high in the right, Pete, I'm telling you. We're not on screen, but
yeah, I think he's too far. I think he's too far back to make an impression here.
yeah, and he's not bow up enough, you're right. He's just regulation south-southeast.
I'd like to be on Yamaha, I think, right now, Warwick.
Yeah.
No?
You think we can make it today?
No, we're too far away. We're too far away.
Okay. Camera's looking back. Thurlow has made up a little distance, Pete.
I'll give you that. And I think they've had to let the leader go. He's got to run his own race, and I think Smeg has got to try and consolidate second.
Yeah,
And
so
they've got to get across the bow of...
yeah, which he'll do pretty easily.
he
So
will, yeah. They'll go up and... Will he tack short? No, he's going to go across and
no, he'll go across him, and
consolidate his second position.
he's got, you know, he's got 20 seconds up his sleeve.
Yeah, it's been a good battle for the minor placings. Yamaha,
Yeah.
they got close to him, but he's extended again. So it's going to be another comfortable win to Yamaha.
Amazing. What a performance.
2 out of 2, what looks like. And do they dare to dream? A little bit early to do that, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is pretty windy. This, at the end of the day, this has been quite a windy race, and the rest of the contest might be completely different, Pete.
Hard to argue with 2 out of 2. It's a great start, great performance from these boys. They've led all the way. They've got one more tack into the finish. Not laying the finishing line. A lot of spectator boats around the finishing line as Yamaha's coming up to the committee boat. They're just a little short. They're in on starboard, and that's 2 out of 2 for Yamaha.
Yeah. What a great performance, and really putting out a message.
There he goes, the final tack. 2 boat lengths, and the hooter will go right on the line there now.
He's there.
There he is. Yamaha first. Terrific performance. Again.
So I think he's won by 1:30, Pete. Back to his original lead, basically. Looking downwind.
Well, I'll just remind viewers that New Zealand have not won this championship since 1974.
Yeah, right.
And also to cap that off, Yamaha's won these first 2 heats, and last year in the JJs he won the last 2 heats, heat 6 and 7, so that's 4 in a row for him. And of course it was Terry McDell in Travelodge that won in Auckland way back in 1974, but we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, I think. But
No. Yeah.
Have a look at the boys having the fight for second. The Smeg 2 lengths in front of Cooper's.
there's a real battle here, but Smeg will get there.
Smeg will get there, but the Thurlow only a couple more lengths in arrears.
That's good racing, eh?
That's great racing. There's Smeg.
So Shipper's a minute 10
Let's
in
talk
round figures.
exactly.
Smeg second. Cooper's third.
Well, that was a
And Furlough fourth.
very, very good battle for those three, for all of them, in fact. Wow.
As I said earlier, that's the top four from yesterday as well.
Yeah, right.
So we've had Yamaha with 2 firsts. We've had Smeg with a second and a fourth. Cooper's a second and a third.
So that's like 4:27. I didn't get the clock running on the start.
And
but what do we-
Furlough's had a third and a fourth. So all very tight at the top of the list. And then there's a long gap back now to fifth, which I think will probably be AOL. But the breeze is up here, Andrew. Plenty of breeze.
Yeah, she's obeyed Roger Badham, the wind today a bit. A little bit of cold air pressing in.
So a little bit spread out after AOL. We might, I might nudge forward and turn this thing around so I get a bit of view.
So these four have really stamped their authority on this regatta at early stages.
Certainly have.
It's very clear cut that they are a little ahead of the pack at the moment, but it's been 2 reasonably breezy days. We've got some light weather forecast to come up, so Tuesday and Wednesday could be a different ball game.
The Asco's got in front of AOL.
That's a surprise. He's got up into 5th spot, which is a good effort. He'd fallen well back there at one stage.
They were deep for a while there, weren't they? Absolutely. So they've had a good last part of that race.
And you know, if you put the clock on them, you'd probably estimate that they have gained time since the halfway point on the leaders.
Yeah.
So they did that yesterday as well.
Yeah. And next, David Witt, Tommy Anderson,
The AOL.
Tommy Clout, big rig.
Great effort from them. But
Battled it around all day.
Yeah, it was a battle.
and they'd be wishing a little bit what could have been.
Race
start on time. And Southeasterly course instead of southerly, different result probably. But anyway, that's how it is.
I mean, we were running different models, bugger. Then next Kiwi C-Tech, and then it'll be Knights Frank.
Knights Frank across in 8th spot.
Yeah.
8th.
Okay.
And Global Compass in 9th, and then another big gap to 10th.
Yeah, maybe Peroni.
Maybe Peroni or someone up here, maybe Sean Langman up here, or Woody's back a bit. Howie Hamlin's in there somewhere.
Sean's had a clean day, that's good.
Yeah. Here comes Compass.
I think you take out the Veterans trophy today, Sean, maybe? Just ahead of Yandu. Well, where's Howie? Oh no, tight between the three of them actually.
Yeah, Compass is 9th after their bit of a disastrous day yesterday. That's single figures. Noakes Youth back in the picture a little bit there, Warwick. Just in the middle, he's back a bit.
Up and down, doing it, making it hard. They can somehow get out off the start over a good day. The old Mooks along, that's the president, mate. He can do what he likes.
Exactly. So if we just recap, second heat of the championships here on the harbour in a southerly breeze of vary between 10 knots at times, probably up at 18 at times.
Yeah.
Second win for Yamaha from New Zealand. Smeg was second. Cooper's Bragg and Famish was third. Thurlow Fisher fourth. Asco fifth. Appliances Online sixth. C-Tech seventh. Knights Frank, Sea-Tech from New Zealand, and Knights Frank, Sea-Tech was 7th, Knights Frank, New Zealand 8th, Compass Global's 9th, and we're watching
Peroni
come in to round out the top 10.
And then we might just watch the 3 veterans, let's call them, see who wins that battle, and then we might wrap it up, shippers.
Yes, I think it's been a very exciting day, plenty of wind, and as we said earlier, I think the prognosis looking ahead for the week is a couple of lightish days coming up. We've got no doubt race tomorrow on Monday. That's a spare day or play day. There's Peroni across 10th.
Yeah.
11th will be Noakes Sailing.
Good job, Sean.
Yeah.
I think you get that.
Really?
I think you're going to get it.
Oh, who's this over here? Harkin, is it? Howie?
Yeah, Harkin, USA.
Yeah, I think Noakes should get it.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, Noakes.
Hasn't had an easy season this year, Sean, so that's really encouraging. Well done.
Howie just going to beat Yandu, John winning.
Yeah.
and I bet he enjoyed that.
Yeah. Excellent.
What's Ord doing here, mate?
I don't know. Clear behind.
Wow.
Rule Britannia's next, the Great Britain boat.
Ah,
Nearly had
you
a
and
crash.
Nickel on board.
You and the Nickel. Hello, Your Majesty. And then
Simpson.
here's Noakes
Yeah.
Youth powering in.
They'll be a bit disappointed with that, I dare say.
Noakes Youth. Yeah. Well, don't forget they had a costly swim with probably with a spinnaker up. We didn't actually see what they had up. So.
And they had a shocking first beat again. Got bounced out at the start and then just went totally away from the fleet. Got hurt. So
that's
take us out.
That's the scene from Sydney Harbour. We finished the second race of the JJ Giltinan Championship here on Sunday, the 26th of February. Yamaha first, Smeg second, Cooper's third, and Thurlow Fisher fourth. So thanks to the tech guys, who've done a terrific job again. They've kept us on the air and kept us up in the air and on the water, so terrific. Thank you guys. To Andrew and Warwick, thank you. We'll be back on Tuesday for the third heat of the JJs, and we look forward to seeing you then. So from the camera count, we say goodbye.